ever got into a situation where you think that you're out of thoughts or out of words? Hi guys, welcome to Learning with JD. In today's session, we are going to touch upon one of the most sensitive topics that we face every day: winning a discussion. Okay, let me use a jargon: winning a negotiation. I'm going to show you 7 tips to win a negotiation. Being a good negotiator can make a huge difference in your career. It can help you even in your personal life, whether it's a negotiation with your kid on buying a new game, or whether it's a salary hike negotiation with your boss. Negotiation always helps. Some people take negotiation as a fight. Do you think that talking to somebody or getting into a negotiation or discussing about a topic is fighting? No, not at all. But ultimately, most of the negotiation discussions get into a fight. Let us see how we're going to manage this, and let us see what all are we going to do and what are we going to avoid. No matter what the topic is for your discussion, if you are logical, if you are strategic in understanding the point of view of the other party and conveying your own thought, you are going to come out as a strong, thoughtful leader. So let us see what are the 7 ways in which you can come out as a strong negotiator. Research the topic and think through your options before you start any negotiation. It is very, very important that whenever you are talking to anybody with a third party about your point of view, you have to make sure that you are thorough on your subject. It cannot be a scenario that you are not aware about something that the other person is. So even if you are not in the favor of that other person's decision, which is fine, but you should know that what the topic is about completely and thoroughly. So do your homework well before starting the negotiation. So that's the base. So we've started, we've made our homework clear, and we are ready for our negotiation. Try to understand where that other person is coming from. What is his thought process? What is it that is motivating him to get into this negotiation? It is very important, because if you do not know what is the thought process and what is the motivation of that other person, you will not be able to point out on that point. Remember, a negotiation is not somebody losing and somebody winning. It's about a win-win situation. If there are certain aspects which are going to give you an advantage, the other person should also not completely fail. Always remember, you need to empathize with what the other party is looking for. Try and understand their viewpoint. You need to make sure that the other person comes to know that you are interested in understanding what the other party's needs are. It is very important that you need to show that interest for the other person's win also. So when you empathize with the other person, when you try to understand what their viewpoint is, you will be able to win on their trust. Next, determine the best time to meet. Remember that if you want to talk about, or if you need to negotiate about something which is very critical for you, assuming you need to talk to your boss for a salary hike, you can't talk to him when you meet him in the lift, or you can't talk to him when he is having lunch. You have to make sure that that person is determined to you when the dialogue is happening. It has to be very important aspect. It is one of the most important aspects that a negotiator should always keep in mind. Whenever you're trying to talk to somebody, ensure that that person is listening to you, that person's time is for you. So please make sure that when you have to talk to somebody, ask them, what is a good time to talk to you? Block that person's calendar. Go and meet them and ensure that person's dedicated time is with you. You have to make sure that when you get into a discussion, you are very sure on what you want, what your goals are. And 2, you also have to make sure that what is it along with which you can walk away. When you say walk away, what is that? It is your threshold that you can accept something. It is never a scenario that when you are into a dialogue or when you are discussing with somebody, it is either a complete yes or a complete no. Of course, there are certain scenarios where it happens, but generally both the parties come to a consensus ground. So before you start the discussion, it is important that you are sure as to what is it that you want. You start with your viewpoint, and when you walk away with something, that should also be appealing for you as well as the other party. So make sure you cannot tell them. The moment you tell them that, okay, I'll think over it and come back, it's going to loosen your entire negotiation that you've done. If you are discussing with your boss for a hike of 25% and you know that your lower limit is 17, you should be able to walk out with a 17% hike at least. So that should be your goal, that you need to define it. Remain calm. Understand, it is just a dialogue. Two individual mature people are talking to each other. It can even be a possibility that the other party is not mature. Yes, I'm talking about your kids. It can be a possibility that you're negotiating with your kids for a vacation or a game or something, but the other person is not calm enough. You have to remain calm. See, it is just a dialogue between two people. It's not war. You will win it or you may lose it, or there will be certain things that you will walk away with. But the moment you lose your calm, you will lose the entire essence or the entire hold of the negotiation that you have with you. Another important aspect which comes along with calm is avoid getting emotional. Again, you have to think about the goal. You have to strategically manage it. So you have to ensure that you're not emotional about the output that comes up. You have to strategically think about the goals. Yeah, so you have to be. The more emotional you be, the more clouded your thinking will be. Avoid doing that. Last but not the least, the most important one. Listen, listen, listen. Listen to what the other person has to say for you. Listen to what they have in mind. I have seen many examples of a bad negotiation where a person has gone to a boss for discussing on the hike of 20%, and they get the 20%, they come up very happy that, okay, I won the negotiation, I wanted 20%, I got 20%. And the later boss comes back and says that, hey, you were asking for 20%, but what I had thought that, I'll maybe promote you and give you a 25% hike. So guys, before concluding on what you want, listen what the other party has to offer for you. Right? So that's going to be the key. That's going to be the turning stone for you to win a negotiation. Alright, so what are the 7 tips that we are saying we are going to keep in mind while we are going to discuss or when we are going to do a negotiation with anybody? I'm not saying this is only career. I'm talking about this anybody. Try it at your home. I'm telling you it's going to help you out. So 1, do your homework. If your kid is telling you they want to go out for vacation, find out what that place is all about and what's going to be the budget, what's going to be the nuances of going or not going. So that's the first thing, that do your homework well. Examine from all angles. Understand what that other person wants and what is the motivation, why that other person wants to take a decision. Determine the best time. Remember that when you are talking to somebody, you are negotiating to somebody, you want that person's undisturbed time with you. So whenever you are doing a negotiation with somebody, ensure that person is listening to you, that person has time to discuss with you, right? Determine the end goal. Ensure that whenever you are talking to the other person, whatever has been discussed, whatever has been decided, you are flexible enough to take a defined goal. This is your goal, this is your walk away. You have to keep both your goals as well as your walkaways ready. Remain calm. Do not get emotional. 2 things go hand in hand. You have to remain calm. Understand it's just a negotiation. It's not a war. It's not a fight. It's just about 2 people talking about their different thought processes, sharing their views on something. So just keep calm. Avoid being emotional. Do not get emotional when you're talking about the end goal. If obviously there can be a scenario that you are quite emotional about something, but you have to avoid getting emotional, okay? And the last and not the least, most importantly, listen. Listen to what the other person has to offer you, and then I'm sure that you will be able to create a great impact on the other party as well and win your negotiation or your discussion. So guys, I hope you like the video. This is it from my end for this session today, and keep watching my channel for more such soft skills related videos. Do subscribe to my channel and keep studying, keep connecting, and all the best.